want your names, please. I wonder if I'll be able to remember them. I'm going to write them down. Who's this then? I'm Kate.
Ella. Libby.
Pardon? Ella?
Yeah. Ella.
Ella. Hi, Ella. Ella. Ella Bella.
Libby.
What?
Libby.
How do you spell that?
Libby.
Oh, Libby. I thought you said Wibby.
Anna.
Anna. Great. So,
Okay.
so I'm Kate and I'm in my office. And I make pottery. Do you know what I do? My name's on your wall, actually. Look at that.
You're famous.
You probably know Christine better. She's a star at the moment. I can't wait till Sunday, Christine.
Oh gosh, I can't.
Oh gosh.
Oh. It's a big make.
I am so loving the throwdown. I have no idea who's winning because I know all the judges and everything, but I've told them not to tell me.
Kate was one of the judges in the first 2 seasons, weren't you, Kate?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was what Rich Miller does now. I was the judge. And I make pottery, everything from egg cups to whole swimming pools. And swimming pools are obviously made of tiles, and we're kind of looking at making tiles today. Christine, shall we wait until the others come, or shall we start?
Start. I've just been told they're not coming.
Okay, so it's just the 3. That's very cozy, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah, it's 4 of us.
4 of you, yeah. So the idea, because it says here, I don't know if you know what FiredUp4 is, but it says, "Thank you, Kate Malone," on your back wall. But in fact, it's not just me. Now it's 50 potters, 50 people like me who've all given a piece of their own work that they work very hard to make. And they've spent years learning how to do it. And they've sold it to pay for your equipment so that you can have pottery. And I was your age when I first started doing pottery. And so I'm very keen, maybe not to have my name on the wall, but the FiredUp4 thing there. You see the logo, you've all got the card in front of you, haven't you? And so that's the logo. I've got it here. Look, you can see on the screen. I've got the same card here. And obviously it's a pair of hands. Who's got 2 hands? I've got 2. You've got 2? Yeah. I've actually only got 1.5 at the moment, so I've got an injured hand from working too hard. But essentially there's a pair of hands holding a pot, and it's called FiredUp4. And the reason it says fired up, because you get fired up and excited about things, but it's also you fire pots in the kiln to make them ceramic. You know about that? Have they, Christine, have they all made something already before?
Lots of things, haven't we, girls?
Yes.
We're still waiting on a couple of things have been fired. Certainly for you, I know you 2 have had some. Have you had some fired?
Yeah.
Yes. So they've had some fired right through to glaze stage.
Okay.
They've got lots more that needs firing.
Okay. So, but I mean, you've seen the magic of the soft clay becoming permanent. And in fact, clay becomes ceramics when it's fired in the kiln. But FiredUp4 has got lots of meanings because we're fired up to help you. Hopefully you'll be fired up to make pottery. And hopefully it's going to get bigger and bigger, and we're going to help more people like you get a chance to see the pleasures of clay. So I'm hoping that we might make a plaque today. And I don't know if you want to make one each, or if you want to make in pairs, or if you want to, we'll all make one, you all 4 make one together. I think Christine is best to know how much clay you've got prepared and things.
I've prepared 5 slabs actually. I don't know how firm they are because I only made it in, about an hour ago. But I just wondered if you wanted one each. So is it, there's a firm enough slab to do one each if you want.
Yeah,
I think one each would be quite nice. They're all more than capable. So
yes. So what I'd like you to do, obviously there's hands, and you've got hands, and you can look at your hand. And it doesn't have to be a hand. The logo is hands to the sideways, isn't it, with a thumb? How does that go? It goes like that. It's. But you could have hands like that. We could have hands holding a pot. And also, this is a lovely traditional sort of Greek style pot. But I think you can do your own type of pot. Obviously, it's a profile of a pot. If you've ever thought about a pot has a foot, a shoulder, a belly, a neck, and a lip. And those are all physical things. And I think whenever I look at a pot of any kind, I can imagine whether it's a male or a female, or whether it's strong, whether it's delicate, whether it's got beautiful poise, or whether it's solid. And, you know, I don't know if you've watched the Throwdown, but I think a Keith Brymer Jones pot would be very different to a ballerina's pot, for instance. And so I think a pot has character. And in fact, traditionally, big pots have signified strength and stability because they're beautiful things and they stand strong and they hold liquid and they're very secure and very reliable, except you can break a pot, of course. So what I think we should do today is think about a pot, and you can do your own pot. It can be in low relief or quite high relief. It could be like half a pot sticking out. And I think we've got to think about writing. So you've got elements here. You've got this blue swirl behind, you've got hands, you've got the pot, and you've got the writing. And I don't know, I think maybe we should try and, I think when I'm starting something, I pick the thing that I'm most interested in first. So Anna, you might be interested in the writing, or somebody else might be interested in the pot or the hands. And I think you should start with that and then let your plaques grow. But the idea is they can't be too thick. I think you know that. If it's more than sort of 4 centimeters, it can explode, or 3. And Christine can see that. We could always hollow out from behind afterwards. But I'd really like to see you do your version of this. Or if you can't think of a version, you can copy it. Doesn't matter. The main thing is that we enjoy clay, we learn by doing. And I think I'm going to stop talking about it, because my philosophy is you start and then you work out how you do it. You don't sit down thinking about it. So have you got the slabs there, Christine? Do you want to sort of lead the class and I'll chat to everybody?
Pardon, say that again.
Have you got the slabs there?
I have. I just want you to be aware that they've not done any relief at all. So, you know, you might want to take them through what relief is.
Okay. Well, I think, how many slabs have you got?
We've got 5.
Because I mean, you can cut out hands or a pot from one, can't you? And then you can stick that to the other. I think you've got to lead the way, Christine, because I'm not in my studio, I'm in my office. So I think, have you got soft clay as well, have you?
We've got soft clay, yeah, we've got these, they're still a little bit soft. I'm sure they'll firm up a little bit. I thought it might be quite nice, Kate, if they were to roll a slab themselves, you take them through rolling a slab.
Okay.
And then they can, you know, cut out the hands or something from that slab.
Good idea.
And
so
maybe
can be the back plate.
Sorry, say that again.
So what you've done could be the back plate.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
That might be quite a nice idea.
Yeah, let's do that.
Great.
Ella, Libby, and Anna, ready, steady, go. So first of all, I have this motto in my studio called the 5 Ps. Prior preparation prevents poor performance. And that means get ready properly. And you've got rolling guides there in front of you. You've got wooden boards, you've got lovely rolling pins. In fact, your preparation has been so kindly done by Christine. And you roll on the cloth because you don't want the clay to stick to your board. So, has Christine ever explained to you what clay is?
She hasn't.
I think I might do that later. I think we're gonna get you going. So I think you need to get a piece of clay. And my thing also is, if the clay is soft, it's easy to roll. And if it's hard, it's difficult to roll. But also sometimes if the clay is too soft, it can be too easy to roll. So what have you got there, Christine?
It's not bad, actually.
Okay.
It's soft enough, but not too soft, I would say.
The reason that you're going to roll onto cloth is because it doesn't stick. You'll be able to peel it off the cloth.
Girls, if you want
I think you should start with a slightly smaller piece than that.
Okay.
Ella, just maybe cut a third off yours. Have you got knives? Shy to also ask me questions, ladies, girls, lovely young people.
They might warm up in a little while. They're quite shy, aren't you, girls?
And I think we need to just relax and enjoy it, really. So you need to roll out a slab with this. So with a rolling pin, what you do, have you all got clay yet? Come on, Christine.
I'm coming. Great.
How nice is this that I can enjoy your class with you? Okay, so pick up your rolling pin. That's a brilliant tool, isn't it? And what you do is you put it in the middle of the clay and roll away or towards you a little bit. Okay, and then you lift the clay off the cloth. So take it, stop, and take the clay off the cloth so it doesn't get stuck. Peel it off, turn it over. That's it, gently, nicely, and then roll again where you haven't rolled before. Don't press too hard. Remember to have control of your rolling pin. The harder you press, the thinner it will go. And what you're after is a lovely, even slab. And so stop again and turn your clay again, pick it up. It looks nice and stiff. If it was very soft, it would be harder to pick it up. It's perfect, Christine. And again, roll from the center towards you and from the center away from you. So then you don't introduce too much stretch into that clay. And again, you've got the rolling guides there. So those pieces of wood on your left and right are to stop the rolling pin going down too far. Do you know what millimeter those rolling guides are, Christine?
No, I think, well, they look about 0.5 centimetre, I'd say, about 5 mil.
4 or 5, okay.
Yeah.
So I've got in my studio different thicknesses so I can roll different slabs.
Yeah.
So you're now getting very good. So remember, in the center, roll away from you right to the end. And then from the center, you lift the rolling pin back and then roll it towards you. And again, don't forget to lift it off your rag, your cloth. So watch Christine, lay it down and handle it very gently. So, okay. So if it's getting a bit long, you know, we're looking at, we're looking at doing maybe, what should we do? For the pot first or the hands first? Who wants to do what? You don't all have to do the same. What do you think? Speak up, lovely girls. Who wants to do the hands or the pot? What you're going to do is cut out a pot.
You're going for hands.
Okay.
And I'll do the hands. So we'll have it even. 2 hands, 2 pots.
2 hands, 2 pots.
Yes.
Great. So, I mean, there is one way of doing a hand, and that's drawing around your own hand, but your own hand might be a bit too big for these slabs. What you really want is a little child's hand. So, there are any children running around?
Grab a child, say, give us your hand.
Who's got small hand? But, yeah. So, Anna, you've decided to roll yours. You can only roll as wide as your rolling pin is. Can you see in your board? Very good. Decided to roll it in a different way. So you haven't got too long a slab. And so what you're doing here, I'm not going to get too technical actually, because I just want you to enjoy it. But even by rolling it with a rolling pin, you've made the clay nice and strong. You made everything sort of lie down nicely, and you've got a lovely clay slab. And so I think, and also you learn by your mistakes really. Sometimes you might, so I'd get, what mark making tools have you got, Christine? Have you got like wooden tools to draw a pot on the surface, or pens or sticks or something?
Yeah, we can always find things around the room, but we have got a couple of wooden tools, and I brought some like little rubber ones in and some homemade.
Don't let your cloth, who's that? That's Ella. Don't let your cloth be creased underneath, otherwise you'll get a creased slab. Can you see? I don't know, I can't see properly, but you might need to lift your slab. You could even cut your slab in 2 now and deal with something less, because when you get a really big slab, it can be quite difficult to deal with. I reckon you should cut it in half. That's it. So then you put it aside somewhere nice and safe so you can use it later. And you'll even find that rolling your slabs, the clay will have got a little stiffer. Okay, so you can just put it aside. You can use that for the hands even later on. Okay, that's nice and thin. So I think you should, who wants to do a pot? You should draw your pot. And remember the slabs that Christine's always, get your cloth straight. There, Ella, it's still wrinkly underneath, isn't it? If you have a wrinkle underneath, what do you think is going to happen to the slab?
So it's going to go
you'll get a wrinkle under the slab and it will have a weak point. So you really need your cloth to be nice and smooth.
The background ones that I've got here are still quite soft.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I don't think we're after a perfect thing. I think we can enjoy making marks and everything. I think the logo that you've got in front of you is just a starting point. I know what you should do. I've got an idea. So now you've got your slab, you can stop rolling it. Christina, you're satisfied that they're all nicely rolled and ready?
Yeah, they're fine.
I think you should take a scrap of your slab, just a few inches of one end, the worst end, like the curvy end or something. No, not the side, but the end.
Yeah,
and I want you to get a bit like that, and then get that in front of you. So the little scrap, that's it. And this is a sort of scrappy bit. Okay, you've all got a scrap, and with the knife that you've got, right, you've got different bits of that knife. You've got the point, you've got the edge, you've got the wrong end, you've got the right end. I want you to just play with the different marks that you can make with your knife. Really simple. Christine, can you show them what I mean? I'm sure you know what I mean. What I want them to understand is that with one tool or with a knife or with a tool, you can really make lots of different types of marks. So you can jab it with one end, you can press the end in, you can do all sorts of things. Do you know what I mean, Christine?
Yeah. So that will make you some marks. Okay, that edge. You've got obviously the knife, the sharp part, which can make you lots of. Yeah, you've got this side, which is literally giving you the dots and things that you could make. And there's even quite a nice little shape there. I bet if that's pressed in.
So the idea is for you to play. It's not too serious. I want you to relax with this. If we don't get something at the end of the class, it doesn't matter, but I think we will. You know, I think, and you also always learn by getting it wrong. If you press too hard with your knife, you go right through. You don't want to do that. If you press too soft, you won't get a mark. And there are things like that that the only way you can learn is by really enjoying it. You can cut a fringe like a comb if you like. You need to learn how to cut all the way through, learn how to turn the knife on its side and make little triangular marks like fish scales or something.
Even things like pens, like I'm constantly dipping into that pen thing, but you can get
exactly. Yeah, so as well as the knife, just get hold of any tool, even your rolling guides, and just have a little play and learn by doing instead of just thinking about it. You do a sort of, if you press very gently with a part of them, you might think, oh my gosh, that looks like bricks on a brick wall, or that looks like fish scales or bird feathers, or it looks like, I don't know, roof tiles or teeth of an animal. I don't know. But you just really need, and every time you do art, like when you're doing a painting or something, you should get the brush and you should just have a little play. You don't have to do the best thing to start with. You just have to learn by doing.
Even turning the knife blade on its side gives a nice sharp triangle shape as well.
And it's amazing with what simple things, the marks that you can make. Do you see what I mean?
Can't speak
it. I can't really see, but
I think quite a few marks out of it, and there's some nice textures, Kate.
Yeah. So that's called texture, and you've made a surface. And so when it's disc fired, if we use the right glazes, all those textures would show up. I've always found felt tip pen ends are very good because you get like flowers or stars. Have you got nice felt tip pen ends there, Christine?
Kate, and they're having a dabble with those. See if we've got
so the other thing that I've always found brilliant in my workshop is if you have thin plastic, like cling film or just an old plastic bag, thin, not thick, you can actually lay that over the clay and you make the marks through the plastic and you get a very different look. So you see how you've got the clay stuck in the felt tip pen end there, Ella? I think that's Ella, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you had a barrier of plastic between, I don't know if Christine's got any because we don't like plastic in the world, but sometimes it is useful. Have you got any there, Christine?
Here's some I made earlier. I don't know where this came from, but we've certainly got some plastic bags.
Okay. So you can turn your little scrap bit over and have an experiment, or keep it as a note and get yourself another scrap bit off your sheet. Let's not be precious with it. And have a go making the same marks, but through a piece of plastic as a barrier. And look at the, make it using the same tool, look at the different types of marks that you can get. Christine's cutting you a bit there. It's got to be thin plastic, really.
It is quite thin.
Okay, good.
It's not as thin as you know.
No, cling film would be ideal.
Yeah,
I can't...
Yes, it would.
Cling film.
Actually, I wonder if the kitchen's got any.
Have a go with it and then pull the plastic off and then have a look at what you get. Let's have a look, Ella. Are you getting anything interesting?
I've got 2 circles.
Little bubbles. You can get really lovely quilted bubbles as if it's made of cloth.
Don't push too hard.
And although yeah, don't press too hard. Learn how to press gently. Learn how to press. All these, this seems so simple, but you're actually learning a lot about how the clay behaves with plastic, without plastic, with the pressure of your hand. And it's those subtleties. If you're playing a musical instrument, again, you'd apply those subtleties. So art is something about learning about what marks that you make and how to behave and what you like yourself. So even though you've all got the same tools, you might have one of you, or you might all have quite different types of mark. Does that make sense, Christine, to them? Are we all right with that?
To me, girls, did that make sense to you? Yeah.
I mean, I've got a little collection of things. I raid children's toy boxes. And I've got felt tip pen ends and bits of Lego and bits of funny things from the kitchen, and combs for hair, combs for afro hair, combs for fine combs, different things. And they all make different marks that I've got to use as a sort of trademark, if you like, when I make things sometimes, especially when I play with my friends' young children. You're not children, you're young people, aren't you? You're a bit older than that. But is this, so the idea is that you're learning how to make some marks. And when you cut a pot shape, your pot shape, out of your main slab, or your hand shape, you might decide to put rings on your hand. I don't know. But you can, or you can decide to have a hand that's made of pattern. It doesn't need to be a real hand. I want you to look at what you've done, look at what you've got, just from these little 5 minutes of playing with a little scrap of clay, and then apply that knowledge to the pot. So you might want to do a stripy pot, or a pot covered in dots, or a pot covered in zigzags. But from that little bit of experimentation that you've done with those tools, those limited tools that you have, you might be able to have a bit more language with your piece. Are you enjoying that? Has anybody got anything interesting? I can't see. I wish I was there. Thank you. Oh yeah, great. Great. And when you put glaze on that, it'll all look so beautiful. Okay.
Glaze all fill in.
And also, if, you know, we're going to cut out a pot, we're going to decorate it, we're going to stick it to your slab, and then maybe the background of your slab, you might want to do another texture. This is all about sort of learning by doing and not planning, really. So why don't you go to your main slab now?
Okay.
And very gently, maybe with a wooden tool. So what we could do is we could get the pot shape right. You can make lots of mess on that side, and when you actually decide to cut it out, we can turn it over and use the good side. You see what I mean? So don't press hard on your slab. All you need is a tool that's going to gently mark, as if you were making a very faint line with a pencil. I think somebody wanted to do hands first. Do you want to still do hands first, or do you want to go do your pot first?
Hands or pot?
Maybe?
Tell it to you guys. Yeah. You might have changed. Yeah, you're doing a pot. We've got 3 pots now.
Okay. What about you, Christine? Are you doing one?
Yeah, I'm going for a hand. I'm going to be doing.
Okay. Great. So very gently, you know, look at the logo and there's a pot there, but it could have a pot with a longer neck or a fatter tummy or a different, just gently draw your pot out. That pot doesn't have handles, does it? So handles that might make it complicated. So I think we should have a pot without handles. And you can copy the pot that you've got on the logo, or you can do your own pot. But it needs to be, I think the slab that Ella has got there is a good size. You don't want to have too big a pot because you're going to go onto another slab and do hands, aren't you?
Yeah, and I've got the size of the slabs here. Obviously, they'll need to cut out the rectangle shape or whatever shape they decide on. So they have to
exactly. I mean, it could be a heart shape. It could be a star. It could be it could be a rectangle, but it could have fancy edges. I don't think we need to stick completely.
Shape, yeah.
I think we should, over time, I'm hoping lots of young people will make different plaques, but using the idea of hands and a pot and maybe the writing.
Yeah.
So if you don't get it done this time, I don't know what the position is with keeping them, Christine, and next time they come and add the writing or something.
So then your hands can go either side. It should be okay. We'll just think about. I mean, you might actually like part of the pot to go off the slab.
Exactly.
It's entirely up to you.
This is you to design, and that's what's so brilliant about art. Is of course you can take a base idea, but of course, I copy shapes from Greek pots from the 4th century, and then I do my own twist on it, and so it's not it's a fine line between copying and being inspired by, and that's for you to decide.
But don't worry if it goes wrong, because there's clay.
Yeah.
Recycle it and we can start doing this again. Okay, so it's not afraid of going for it. Deciding on your shape. Roughly
just draw it gently, just draw on the slab gently, draw your pot and have a little trace. You can always rub it out, roll it out.
Yeah.
Go on then, do your pot. Enjoy it. Just really gently, just draw your pot out. No big deal. You can all do that. I know you can.
Think about the size you want it to be. Were you going for like a narrow, and then going wider?
Hello. Hello. Hi, Kate. I'm also wearing them. Oh yes, her pom-poms are.
Oh, we're on a headband competition.
Oh, yours wins very clearly. I love those pom-poms.
How nice.
We are creating a pot now that they decide on the shape of the pot, and then that will go. They'll cut it out once they're happy with the shape. It will go on the back of one of the firmer slabs.
Brilliant.
And they'll put hands on with it. Kate, are we doing the FiredUp4 logo, or are we doing Potter's names?
I don't know. I think we're just doing FiredUp4 logo at this stage, Christina. Hopefully we can do another session as the girls get better at it, or as they learn, not better because they're already good.
Yeah.
Just look at names. We'll just look at, I think this is something we have to really relax with, and we've got the logo and we've got the names.
Yeah.
You could write the names on the pots. People could pick some names and put the names on the, have you got alphabet stuff there, Christine?
So that you can see the pot. But also, you just put the empty out here and look at the shape of your neck there.
Christine, have you got an alphabet there?
I've got some letter shapes. I brought quite a few in because I wasn't sure how big this was going to be. So there's a few different styles that are in here.
Yeah. I just think they need to enjoy it and learn. And you're there, you're the hands-on. And sadly, I'm not there. I'd be getting the letter shapes out and having a go with them and just enjoy it. Just really learn, because learning is the crux of it all. And that's how, when you come back in and do another class, you get to learn more and you are able to do more of what you want, you can imagine, rather than just worrying that you can't do it. So in a funny way, we're sort of treating this like cardboard, aren't we? And clay is the best when it's squidgy.
Yeah, if you're happy with it, once you're happy, I think, then would you say that?
Yeah, get on with it.
Or maybe do some textures on it if you fancy like the bars to have texture, and then cut it out. It's your decision.
Also, it mustn't be stuck onto your back cloth. It's better to make sure it's released now before you cut it out. Because if it gets stuck, it's difficult to get off. So just check that your slab isn't rolled into the texture of the back cloth. Just release it, pick it up and release it so you're not putting it down. Just gently just pick up the slab. Don't worry about the cloth. That's it. Great. That's great, Anna. Just make sure it's not stuck down. That's a really important thing. And again, next time you do that, or if you'd cut out your pot and it was still stuck down, you might spoil it a little bit. There's different ways to go about looking at a logo, and you could almost tickle it from the underside and make it stick up. You know, at the moment we're treating it quite like cardboard. We're sticking one bit of clay onto another. But maybe Christine could pick a slab.
Yeah.
Have you got a spare slab, Christine?
Sorry?
Have you got a spare slab there?
Yes, I have.
So if you were to draw the pot on it gently and then with your fingers push it up from underneath. I don't know how soft the clay is.
Right, okay.
Show the girls a different way
Round
of doing the same thing.
Are you talking about to round it off slightly so that it's relief?
So instead of sticking one pot onto a flat, so you've got flat on flat, I'm suggesting you just get a slab and from underneath sort of tease it up into a pot shape by doing a drawing of a pot and then helping it stretch it up into shape. Am I making sense?
Yes, you are.
Thank you.
Yeah, so if you've got the shape of the pot you're after, and then obviously you're cutting it out.
Sorry, seeing battery change.
Is that way? Okay.
What time have we got till? Is it till 5?
Yeah, I'd say work till 5 and then I'll carry on with these.
Yeah.
Right, so you've got your shape. Have you all cut it out? That's it.
Well, Christine, I just want you to show them, they don't have to copy you at all. Look at that shape that Anna's got, the window. Anna, just flatten that up. That's quite interesting. Lay it back down. Don't lose that. So you've actually got 2 things there. And that you learn from the process. I just saw it. The window of the pot was very nice.
The clay
Decide to work in negative, you know. I just want you to really free up. Because that cutout, Anna, is quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
The actual negative of it. How old are you all?
14.
14. 13. Yeah, no, I think you know what positive and negative is, don't you? And so look, Ella, at your window. The window's actually possibly as interesting as the rest. Yeah, don't lose that. That's quite nice. I think that could be used to do a second one or to use on your first one somehow.
You might find it easier to make it 3-dimensional. You're raising it slightly, which is called relief. If you do it on the wood, on the board, because the board grips it at the edge.
You could even take your neighbour's negative piece and use that. So, Christine, I think it's difficult for me to do step by step and tell you all to do something. I think you need to just, you know, if I disappear and now, well, I suppose the other thing that we might do is get some soft clay and try and model some hands. You know, because I think the girls have got this imagination. Once they sort of, it starts really sort of triggering, they can then stick onto the slabs. What time do you actually finish with them today?
I finished with these 3 at 6.
Oh, great.
Yes.
So you've actually got lots of time.
Yeah, I thought you were 4 till 6. Are you
Yeah, I told them 5:30.
Right, well, it's all right, you need to. So great. Kate, we could carry on with this and then we can send you images of what we did.
Yeah.
You know, we've got an idea of what you were thinking and what you're after, that we kind of can carry on the journey if you want.
Yeah, well, I'm not thinking anything. I think I want you all to, you know, look at the negative that you've cut out, look at the positive. Remember that we want some kind of flat thing which will go on the wall, which will say FiredUp4. and have a go with the letters, have a go with shaping it. It needn't be completely flat. You can
Okay.
get the whole slab and just push from behind and not even cut out. You know, I mean, Christine, you're a better potter than me now.
Excuse me. Look at your face. Don't try that one.
Brilliant. I'm really impressed by it. Do you think you're better than you are before you did the throwdown?
Yes, yeah, absolutely, because I'm happier to have a go at other things. You know, staying in my split casting zone.
Yeah.
And throwdown has made me try hand building and new things, and yeah, I think I'm on a new journey now.
It must be really intense. It must have been fantastic. Fantastic. Well done so far.
Thank you.
Anyway, I think I could come back in. You know, I can get on and do something. Not that I want to leave you, but I don't want to inhibit you by being here.
I think that's a good idea. That you know. Oh gosh. Oh, what's that?
Shall I come back in? You know, in half an hour or so.
Yeah, why not? And then we'll let you know. Yeah, that'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? Yeah.
But I think the girls should enjoy soft clay as well, and they should try and model some hat, just put hand side hat or something, so it's not all just cut out as if it's cardboard.
Yeah.
Shall I leave it on, or shall I? I'll just. Yeah, I'm not gonna leave.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute myself.
And we'll just carry on.
Hello, young ladies.
Hello again.
Hello, hi Lee.
Hello.
We're getting there.
So let me put the cam back on. I can go mobile with it.
Right, you ready?
I put my big kiln on just now.
Oh, how long does it take?
3 days.
Oh my word!
Wow.
Did you hear that? 3 days. Is that to go up and then come back down again, or is that
Go up and to cool down? How's it going?
well, we're getting there. They're really enjoying it now. I can see they're getting into it.
Yeah, I think it takes a while, and obviously I don't want to make you nervous being here all the time because I'm a stranger, aren't I? And
well, it's also difficult to just spark an idea from
look at that. That looks great. Wow, fantastic.
There you go. There you are.
So if you cut a little hand out, just think you could fold it and see if it folds just like the one on the thing. If you don't use your good hands, but if you cut a little hand out, you might be able to just fold the thumb in and it'll just do exactly what you want, and you can put it on. Do you see what I mean, Christine?
Yeah. I think Libby's doing one with the hands almost like they are on the FiredUp4 logo, but she's made them into a heart.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Hi guys, just to let you know, climbing is
And Anna's
full
keeping us in
tonight.
suspense
We
to the
have
very
stations
end.
available in
It's interesting to see how
and
you
I'll
all
be
work
doing
so differently.
trampoline
I
at
think you get everything ready, Anna, don't you? And
yeah,
then
Thanks.
start to bring it together. Oh, really?
There's a staffy and we've got one next door, and it like barks at it every time.
Does it?
My dog just.
I was just telling them about your dog, Kate.
He's naughty. He's been really naughty today. Come here, bud.
Was he there?
Come here. He's not coming. He's not doing anything I say today.
Oh, come on, bud. We want to see you.
Budley, come here. Where are you? Come here. Come and see the girl. Come on. Good boy. Really good boy. Come and see. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, look, see, look at him. Oh.
Buddy, who's that?
Ella, look at the dog. Look how cute it is.
You naughty. You naughty boy.
He's always chasing the cat.
Bit smelly. We went for a walk earlier and got in a ditch. Did you get in a ditch? So you're enjoying it?
Yeah.
Girls, are you enjoying it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I
It's
think
going well.
starting to come together now.
This one here, I can't. There's one in the distance by you. Is that the raised up one? Is that?
Yeah, That would be showing them how to raise up a pot.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Budley said,
The tongue sticking out lady is a
That was
particularly
it.
good. That's nice. Oh wow. And then where are you thinking of doing the logo?
I was going to put it there.
Oh, wonderful.
logo can be anywhere you like. It doesn't. It can be on the hands. You know, it can be. It can be just. On
Oh, look at Anna's. Anna's eyes just went, yeah.
Great. And also, they can be under the pot. The pot can be over the hands. You can have one hand under and one. Have you stuck your pot down already?
No, they're just trying out where they're going, I think.
Great. Oh gosh, you girls are so lucky to have Christine as a teacher.
I'll pay you for that later, Kate. Thank you.
Way.
And girls, there's lots and lots of different style letters as well, so think about the size of the lettering that you want. Do you not need that? No.
I might just leave. I think you cut the hand there. I think I'll leave it as it is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it's a cracking idea.
None of them have used the shape that was left behind then, the window. I think that's very interesting, the actual
Yeah,
cut.
I thought it was as well. We did explore that idea, but I don't think any of them liked it.
No, I know what you mean, but
Anna looks at me as though I was crackers, actually. Didn't you, Anna? You gave me ass all the side glance.
I think in my work, leftovers are very important. Sometimes I make something and I'm concentrating. I think, oh, that's great, and then I look at the leftover, like, oh, actually, it's better sometimes.
Right.
A bit like cooking food. Sometimes your leftovers are better than the next day than the meal you've cooked, aren't they?
Yeah, my dad's chicken curry leftovers are the best.
Yeah, exactly.
This Christmas dinner is, yeah, it's always great the day after, isn't it?
Yeah, Boxing Day is best, my favourite. Look at Budley now, look, he's all settled down.
Have you stuck the pot down?
No.
See, so you could even play around with that, but you know where it is. It doesn't have to be right in the middle.
Are you watching them, Budley? Are you watching them?
It's interesting you've all gone for textured pots as well. You enjoyed that texture, didn't you?
Oh, I love a bit of texture. You could texture your background as well.
Yeah.
Before you stick your hands on, maybe. I don't want you to run out of time, though. Didn't one of you, doesn't Anna got to go at past?
Yeah. It's fired up for. So think about how it would be read when somebody stood in front of it. How are they going to read that? So always be careful where you place it. Because remember, you read from left to right, top to bottom.
That's what I thought. That's why I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, these are lovely ones. Yeah, I'll tip them out. Okay. There. For some reason, I don't think there's any A's in that. Fortunately, we don't need an A. And then
This numbers.
yes, I think there is
Oh,
numbers
yeah,
in
there's a
there.
question mark there, is there?
What are they then, Christine? Are they little cutouts? Is that what you used on the throwdown when you did
They're
your...
actually little magnetic letters.
Oh,
I think you put them on a fridge, but I liked the style, so I just bought the set. Yeah, they're the ones I pressed into.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
the very ones you did your fantastic figure.
Yeah, no,
You had the nation in tears, you know that.
Yeah.
I think I did, didn't I? I didn't mean to do that. I didn't want to cry myself, but as soon as Keith cries,
God, I know it's a trigger.
yeah, it is. You just get so emotional, you know. And all the time walking up to being judged, I was like, right, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
Oh,
Just, waterworks just appeared, and so you can't help it, can you, when he does?
no, I mean, yeah, I think they were tears of joy. And people were writing to me saying that they hadn't quite realised how expressive art can be.
Really?
Because they're not really keyed into art, and so that was just lovely to see that. Yeah, definitely, really amazing. Well done.
Thank you.
That's what, when I started the program with everybody, that's what I dreamed it would be like.
And to do that kind of firing as well, I really enjoyed that. You know, to put it in sawdust and see what happened to it. I loved it. Yeah, of course you can.
You could write FiredUp4 over and over again. It doesn't have to be written once. You know, it could be the texture on the background tile. It could be anything really.
Come together. Just take that crease out of your, the back right, that's it. Keep it flat. Then if you press it, you might go through if it's all straight. There is smaller letters here. So like, if you want, like Kate was saying, if you wanted to do FiredUp4 as all your background, it'd take you a while, but it could be pretty impressive. That, but the smaller ones or something.
Christine, have you got glazes that are transparent there then?
Yes, yeah. We've got nice. Well, they're not all mixed up yet, but we've got some nice glazes. It's going to be, So we can give them some choice in what the glazes come out like. But I still need to do some tests.
It doesn't have to be any of the colours of the logo. It can be anything.
Yeah. All you need to do with those, if you wanted to, all I did, you take a spare piece of clay.
Practice.
And just like you were practicing with the textures before, you can practice with how deeply you want to push those in. So all they do, and it's good, just push in. Now what I tended to do is use the end of the tool to do the pushing. So you keep it quite easy, but you're also keeping your fingerprints away. So you push in as far as you think is right, and then take it out. I'll give you a needle tool. So just take the edge off the corner. And then think, okay, that's deep enough for me. That's, if you wanted it deeper or lighter than that, then that's what you would do. Okay? They're not bad.
Your attention, please.
Yeah, my dear. Go away. Go away. Go. Come back later. When my door's open, it's when you can come in.
Okay.
I'll do these. I'll make 5 minutes to it.
Kate's in demand. No, Christine's in demand. Sorry.
Well, I think it's just art's in demand.
I know you're stopping people
They
going
go close to them, don't they?
Yeah. Is there room closed?
No.
Did you have people wanting to come into the art class?
Yeah, we have had for a while. There is to get back in. They can wait.
Julie, are you recording this whole session or are you just taking photos, sweetheart?
I'm just taking photos on this camera, but I am recording the Zoom itself. So everyone there is on record.
But this is a Zoom star then.
If you want a straight edge at the bottom, do you want a straight edge or not? Use that. Use one of the sticks, and that will give you a yes.
But the other thing you might think about is somewhere putting your name, very small, just writing your name somewhere. Or your initials, because these are going to go on the wall of there or maybe in another place. And it would be nice to have your initials or your name there as well.
Yeah. Yes. Just gently push it, and then but you've got to push it further than you think.
Ella, if you have ordered
Yeah, imagine girls coming back in.
area.
Is that you?
Ella, for your bikini in the happy area.
When did you do that?
Kate, would you like a panini?
Love a panini, actually.
Yeah, so would I. But imagine coming back in about 20 years' time, and seeing these upon the wall, and your name's there in the corner. Are you worried about it? Maybe move the hands down a bit, and then you could, I don't know, it's your decision.
I'd make it a stylistic feature.
I would.
Yeah,
Probably
maybe
add some.
so it goes around the hand or something. I don't know. Christine's done it's like maybe part of the feature.
Ellie, Ellie, your penny is ready in the cafeteria. Ellie, you wanna go to Ellie? He's not ready for you in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
That's panini for Ella.
It's a panini for Ellie. There's
Ellie.
Ellie in the centre somewhere.
I think they put someone wants to sign
You to
something.
sign something. Really?
Here they went. Can you get Christine to sign this?
Is that right? Like that? It's yours. It's entirely. Let's have a look at it.
He's gonna have Emily, Blakey, Kate, and Neil flying.
What is it for?
It's a surprise.
Oh, is it? Sign this adult. I'm not an adult.
Yes, you are.
I'm not. Oh, who told you that? Okay.
Just wanted to autograph.
Yeah, is that sneak? Are you going to rub all the others out now? Just sneak away and get mine.
I can't put the other side.
I was kidding you. Right, let's have a look. Oh yeah, that's it. The glaze will go into that. You'll be able to see it. But yeah, I can stick these on now. You do. Slip and store. Slip and store.
These ones, should I stick them on and then press the like thing into them?
I would probably, if you're putting the writing on there, I would keep those flat.
There
And,
and then there.
yeah, so if you're putting writing onto this, I'd put it flat, put the writing on, and then attach it to your tile. Think about the angle as well, though. Remember, if it's going on at this angle, you want to put the writing on when it's at that angle from you. Okay, that's it. That's it. Straighten your back this way.
Have you got any scorers?
Yes, good thinking.
Knows how to join it, or she's going to show you how to join it all up.
Okay, I have done slipping scoring before with so.
I always say scratch, don't tickle.
Yeah, I tickled with a lobster.
You did. You didn't scratch.
You know what? I didn't know that clay needed really deep scoring. I do now.
No, I always say to all my assistants in the studio, scratch, don't tickle. Good old scratch.
Yeah. Well, when I saw the program on Sunday,
in apple bobbing in the lower rack, would you know it?
I saw that AJ was really going for it, and I looked and I thought, why didn't I do that?
Oh.
But you learn, don't you?
I thought maybe the legs should have come forward a bit, then they wouldn't have been pressing against the ground as well.
And you couldn't, it was so big, it's such a big make, you can't even, you can't lift it up and sort the underneath out or anything like that.
No, I know. They could have been sort of a bit away from the wall, couldn't they?
Yeah.
But then hindsight is a very valuable thing.
Even go to the edges there, Anna, with that. Now, especially go to the edges.
I wonder if they'll do a like a professional throwdown like they do.
How good would that be?
Professional bake-off or something.
You need to ask them, Kate. I'd love to see professionals doing it.
I know, it'd be mad. Because when I watch it, I think, oh, what would I do? You know, can't really throw very well, so obviously that.
We all have strengths and weaknesses, don't we? I was itching for a slip casting challenge.
No slip casting at all, was there?
No.
Much more hand building than before. I liked that.
Right. That's it. Yeah. I was never a hand builder, but I am, more so now.
You are. You are.
I'm certainly not a big thrower.
No. Well, you did all right.
Yeah.
Right.
Would I put them in first or before I stick it down?
It depends where you want to see. Is it going behind?
Right.
Yeah, I would probably. Yeah. Well, no, I'd decide where that's going to be now, and I would just mark it lightly. So do you want it straight? That's it. Nice and straight. Okay. So if you just draw gently around it with that wooden tool, really gently, and then you know where that's going to be.
That's what I did.
Right, good. That's it. Really push the edges down. Think about my lobster, yeah. Think about catastrophe. That's
You
it.
learn from your mistakes though, don't you? I think I've always learned most from my mistakes.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Because that would not happen to me ever again now. If ever I had to make a lobster urinal.
Yeah. For your home.
There you go. It's going to be a plant pot in my garden. So I'm going to hang it on my garden wall. Strawberries in it.
Yeah.
I'm quite excited about that.
Yeah.
This is the 5
Have you glued those on yet? Or are you still deciding where they're going?
football. Can we please have Bailey,
Ooh, right, okay, we need a D on this.
Evan, Ola,
Fired. Ooh, look at
Rhian,
And you've got space for
It's
it.
amazing what a
Very
second pair of
William,
eyes.
Ethan, Bobby,
I know. Did you watch Throwdown when?
and
Did you watch Throwdown?
Dexter.
Some of
So
them.
that's
Did you watch
Bailey,
when Nick made the
Kobe,
mistake? Monster
Evan,
Mayhem. Did you see that? He missed a knee out of Mayhem. But
Ola,
unfortunately, he didn't spot it until after it was fired.
Ryan,
So you
Dexter,
definitely yeah,
Josh,
spotted it.
William, Ethan, Bobby, and Alex. It's your turn.
Don't
on
dig in too
football.
deeply. You don't need to dig in, yeah? You just need to know where you're going to put it and then put your writing on.
What should I do that now?
Yes, I do your writing now and then glue that on, glue everything on.
So you lovely girls, I think I've done my job here. If you don't know what I do look up my website if you get access to the internet. That's Kate Malone, and you'll see you can dig around and see all my sketchbooks and all sorts of things. But essentially, I always think, I don't know, I'd like to think that you might go away and realize what you've done and then think, well, actually, next time I do this or next time I do that. And I call it an evolution. It's a moving on. And so you actually learn when you go away and think about what you've done. And then next time you do it with the knowledge that you've gained this time.
Yeah.
So if you were to do it again, if you were to come back and do it again, you might decide to come back with more tools for making impressions, or you might decide to do all FiredUp4 across the back plate, or you might decide all sorts of things. So I'd like to think that this lesson wasn't just about making the plaque, but it was also about you understanding the clay and understanding how to do all things. It needn't just be clay, it can be cooking, it can be sewing, it can be your homework, in that you learn by doing. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's really important. Don't underestimate. You've focused so well and you're working really beautifully.
Please come to reception.
Don't underestimate how valuable that is, because you learned. Budley is falling asleep because I've got a heater under my desk and he's getting all warm on his head. Going up under my desk. So hip stove by the heater.
You're not going to be able to do any work now, Kate.
I know. Well, I've got lots of work to do tonight. I've had a bit of a funny day, so I'm going to work. I'm going to go and have some supper and then work till midnight, I think.
I really appreciate you coming here and doing this with us.
No, I love it. I can't tell you what a pleasure it is to be part of FiredUp4. It's just fantastic.
That's brilliant.
Makes two of us, Kate.
Yeah.
Me too.
So Budley's saying, good night, girls.
Bye.
Thank you.
He's fast asleep. Night, night. Nice to meet you all. I hope we do it again, huh? And show me what you do. Bye, Lee.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Christine. Brilliant. You're lovely to work with.
We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.